Oh my gosh, did y'all just saw that? That door has opened up before it fully parked. That happens sometimes. I'm not surprised that would happen with a 3200 series rail car, because it is technically rather old, but yeah, that was something. Yeah, that is literally cool. That has happened. Mind blown. But anyways, today's topic is about work. About work. Serious question. Am I the problem? Am I the problem? Excuse me. How much of me is the problem to why my generation and just me can't find jobs and everything, or complaining in jobs? Because apparently I'm just complaining and blaming junk on people or whatever, on the older generation and these companies or whatever. The real question is, am I really blaming? In a sense, by default and by definition, yes, I am. All right, but I have a reason. All right, I have a reason. Because everything I was taught of how jobs, money, and success in life is supposed to be is a fallacy. So it's not my fault that I and the rest of my generation are complaining about our jobs and everything. All right, so it doesn't really make any sense, right? It really doesn't. All right, I'm gonna start holding my camera up more, because I know recording like this, it could be a little annoying. I get it. I'm sorry, but yeah. So like, I'm not understanding, like, how am I really the problem? All right, like, because it honestly sounds like that. This is mainly a response to a comment, right? How is it my problem that I can't find a job? Like, I'm not getting hired for jobs. I'm really not understanding that, because I applying for all these jobs, right? Yeah, little to no callbacks. Like, how is companies not calling me back, or me not, quote unquote, qualifying for their stuff is my fault? Like, how is it my fault I have no experience in certain areas? And when I'm trying to go seek that, you need experience to get experience. All right, if someone is not willing to train you on how to do XYZ, then how in the world is they supposed to get experience? It's a huge contradiction in the system that do not make any sense. That's pretty much the main thing my generation is saying when it comes to getting these jobs. Like, and then that's, like I said, how is it my fault that I'm working? Well, not me, all right? I need to, but I'm working on it. But how is it my fault that my generation can't, get our own places and get our own house or whatever, when we're literally, okay, we can't afford rent? How is it our fault that how is it our fault that we are working two full-time jobs plus a side hustle just to barely afford rent? How is that our fault? Like, I generally feel like that comment was made by an older person, probably an older millennial to a boomer, maybe even a Xer. But I'm just not really seeing how is this even working. Like, to me, it's not our fault to why we can't get the experiences we need. It's not our fault that we cannot get the trainings we need, because a lot of these companies do not want to train people. They don't want to train. All right, they want people who's pre-packaged. All right, they want people who have pre-packaged, and it's unfair. It's really unfair. I understand why some companies don't want to hire. Don't get me wrong, but all I'm saying, the idea to just demonize my entire generation as if we are the problem just because, and want to say that we don't want to work is absurd to me. Seriously. Like, it generally don't make any sense, and it sucks. Like, my generation, we are expressing a problem that's going on, and we're constantly being ignored, and it really, really indeed sucks. Like, I don't understand, how is that our fault? It's not our fault to why we cannot find jobs, right? And then, like, seriously, like, I generally don't know. I generally do not know. I generally don't know how is that our fault and us complaining. Like, you really expect us to just constantly struggle getting jobs and struggle paying our bills and make peace with that? Make peace with struggling, getting the bare, getting scraps? Like the idea we're supposed to dehumanize and strip ourselves of our frustration, our human emotions when we're growing tired of things is absurd to me. We're human beings, all right? We're human beings, for the love of God, seriously. And we're being ignored, and we're being rejected, we're being denied all these essential services like shelter, food, and all the other stuff, seriously. And that really sucks. That really, really do. And the fact that we're being gaslit as if we are the problem, like, I'm not seeing a vision. How is it my fault I can't get a job? Just go out there and get experience. How? You're not being specific. You're not being specific. You have to figure it out. Like, it's not making any sense. Seriously. And then when we have a job or whatever, or not the ideal job that, or career that the older generations expected us to be, because eventually we have to be the ones who run society, run the country, because that's just the way it's going to be. But I'm not understanding, like, how in the world we are the problem. I'm not understanding. All right? I generally don't understand. Like, how's it my fault I don't know how to drive when the older generations don't trust me behind the wheel and putting all these prerequisites or whatever so I can even qualify to go be behind the wheel. I understand we need to study the rules of the road. I highly agree. But all I'm saying is, when we do all that, why is it that all these extra stuff come along? Like, seriously. Like, seriously, for real. Going on topic, back on topic. Like, I generally don't understand. To me, it's a lot of gaslighting. Like, that's the thing. To me, it's pretty much the same tactic that parents do with children. They refuse to listen to the child to where they're at, put their framework into their child's shoes to try and get them to understand where the child is supposed to come from. That way you can explain it to the child. That way they can understand it properly. And that way they can, it has to be a mutual benefit out there, okay? Like, I get that. Like, in the end of the day, that's the thing. I feel like y'all older generations gonna have to maybe start listening to us a little bit, all right? It's not that easy. It's not that easy for us. It really isn't. Because in the end of the day, we have to be the ones who retire you. We have to take care of you, all right? We have to pay for your retirement homes. We have to pay for your nursing home or whatever. Or just nurses at your mansion or whatever. Or your house or whatever, I don't know. Your retirement house and pension. Because once you lose all that money, that's it. Seriously. Yeah, seriously. Once you lose all that money, What you gonna do now? Once you lose your retirement money, what you gonna do? We have to bury you. So seriously, I really think, because if we wanted to, we can completely ignore you. We can completely ignore your advice, just sit at home and do nothing. And then, like I said, we have to be the ones who replace y'all. We're the ones who got to replace y'all. When I say that, I mean, like, we have to have our own children. Once y'all die out, we're going to be taking y'all place, and then the children is going to be taking our place. Like, the next generation, I generally feel bad for the alphas, low-key. Because, unfortunately, because we can't be as successful as y'all boomers, the next generation, we can't lead them properly. Us Zers, we cannot lead the, the alphas and the betas. We can't. And it's sad. Like, it just goes back a whole thing with elder versus youth thing. That's what's happening here. The elder generation, they believe they pretty much know everything or know definitive things of everything. Y'all really acting, I'm not saying you do, but y'all definitely acting like y'all know the answer to everything. Y'all acting like y'all know everything. Y'all know the solution of everything. We're trying to copy it and it's not working. And the first thing y'all tell us is we're doing something wrong. You gotta cut it out. You gotta cut out this gaslighting. It's not working. All right. And we're trying to tell you, that's the thing. These boomers, why don't y'all apply for jobs? Y'all need to start applying for some jobs. But yeah, that's it. In conclusion, like, it's not our fault to why we're dealing with what we're doing. To some, yes, I agree. But for most of us who generally do want to work, like myself, it's not our fault why we can't find jobs. So yeah, as far as my job update, I have received a call today. I have an interview tomorrow. Hopefully I get this produce backup manager position. I really do. That would be nice. Can I? Yeah, I'm all clear. Yeah, I really hope I do get this produce backup manager. If I do that, I think I will be a little set, and I will hopefully get my own apartment. So yeah, otherwise that's the gamut. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.